It's gonna be a good video. I already know it. What's up, you guys? I want to share something with you guys. This Passover is right around the corner. And about a year ago, a dear friend sent me some letters that she got from Israel. And these letters are very unique because you actually can't find them anywhere online. But I want to share them with you. They are letters that were written in the perspective of Moses' sister Miriam, giving her account of the Israelites Exodus from Egypt. But I'm going to go ahead and start reading this, and I really hope that it kind of brings the Passover story to life for you guys in a new way, like it has for me. I hope it blesses you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, 1312 BCE. Shalom, my dear. For many hours I've been gazing at the sea, at the calm blue waters. My bent back aches, and my hands still grip the drum tightly. True, countless things have happened in the past year, but these last few days I'm still trembling. Who would have believed it? Who would have thought it would end this way? This morning I felt I must write to you, simply so someone would know, so someone would remember. And I promise you this is real. It's impossible to believe, but it happened. 2 days ago, when we were certain we had escaped, they suddenly appeared behind us, his army, horsemen, and chariots, making a thunderous noise with clattering swords that made our hair stand on end. At first we tried to rush forward, throwing our belongings to the ground and fleeing. But soon we were stopped by the waters. We stood there terrified, beside ourselves, trapped with nowhere to go. The Red Sea before us, and Pharaoh with his fearsome army and all his chariots behind us. In all this chaos, I suddenly noticed Moses, my little brother. Even at 87, he's still my little brother. Standing on a huge rock, holding his staff, his eyes raised to heaven. His eyes were closed, deep in prayer, and I was lost in the sight of him. The terrifying sounds of war seemed to vanish. The sun set on the horizon behind the Egyptian army, and an enormous pillar of cloud stood like a wall between us and them. We felt as if an invisible iron dome was protecting us all. Even the sounds of horses shouting and commands grew faint. Time stood still. An angry group of men began shouting from the back of the crowd at my brother. Were there no graves in Egypt that you took us to die in the desert? They shouted and pushed forward, drawing more and more people with them. But my brother Moses stood firm, still praying in silence. After long hours, it felt like an eternity. A bright blue light began to break in the east from the Sinai desert beyond the sea. The misty wall of the cloud pillar began to dissipate, and the noise of the restless chariots and Pharaoh's horses neighing returned. And then the light rose. From afar we saw the armored horsemen and the deadly chariots begin to move, galloping toward us, and descending into the narrow strip where we were all trapped. And then, I can barely breathe as I write this, Moses extended his staff over the sea and called out, "Move forward, brothers, step into the sea." Nachshon, the son of sorry if I butcher this, Aminadab, was the first to wade in. Suddenly, there was a tremendous noise, and before our eyes the depths split, and the sea divided into two. The waters froze in the heart of the sea, and the seabed became dry land. My tongue cleaved to my palate. I couldn't breathe. The sea had split in half. Towering walls of water, dozens of meters high, rose on both sides of us, and a path of dry sand stretched before us. We all ran into the sea, gripping what little we had. We ran frantically, slipping, but not daring to look up or to the sides, as if the massive water walls weren't there at all. That's how we all ran into the sea. I struggled to keep up with the caravan, my old legs barely able to carry me as I held Aaron's grandson's baby. I turned back every few seconds, terrified they were catching up to us. We reached the other side, and I can't believe I'm writing this. The moment we collapsed on the shore, the very second we emerged, Moses again lifted his staff over the sea. Behind us, I heard the horrible, deafening sound of something collapsing, like an earthquake or an erupting volcano mixed with screams. I turned just in time to see the waters crashing down, swallowing the chariots, the horses, the swords, and the torches. God shook them like rag dolls in the sea. The depths covered them, and they sank like lead in the mighty waters. I saw it with my own eyes. The very men who just a month ago executed Shiphrah's son by the well, and the ones who walked tall with their whips and tormented us, the ones who tore our lives apart. I saw them flailing the waves as the water walls collapsed on top of them. Our eyes met, and they saw me lifting my hands in prayer, crying out in endless praise and thanksgiving, rejoicing with all my heart and soul. When they disappeared beneath the sea, I picked up my drum, and overwhelmed with joy, began to dance. My old legs felt like I was a child again. The women of Israel followed me, and together we burst into a dance of prayer and gratitude. Our voices rang out in song. Our feet moved with pure joy, and we danced from the depths of our souls. In 3 days, I will turn 87. I sit on the shore, surrounded by scattered swords, bent chariot wheels, and bits of armor carried in by the tide. I sit here and reflect on my life, and memories flood back. I can see my childhood clearly. The smells, the tastes, the steam rising from my mother's cooking. I see my father returning home from his forced labor, his back bent, his shoulders hunched, stepping slowly along the Nile as the crocodiles lurked, waiting for one of us to collapse from exhaustion. I remember the scorching sun through the dusty palm trees and the camels kneeling at the village well. I see my mother removing my father's torn shirt, applying ointment to the whip marks on his back, and washing his feet before the evening prayer because he could no longer bend down himself. I remember the night Moses was born, how a glow filled the whole house. I remember that fear gripped us as we hid him, jumping at every footstep. I remember standing by the Nile at age 7, watching his basket drift, the crocodiles in the distance, the village, the palm trees, the blinding sun, and I remember Pharaoh's daughter arriving. Her servants parting the reeds, spotting the basket. I tried to reach it first, but she got there before me. I ran to her, muddy and breathless, speaking a jumble of Hebrew and Egyptian. By some miracle, she agreed to let my mother nurse him. Because of me, my mother got 3 whole years with him, but then they took him to the palace. She never gave up, though. She wandered the palace grounds, trying to catch a glimpse of him. Years later, when Moses fled after killing the Egyptian, he arrived home in the wee hours of the morning, breathless, telling our parents he had to leave. Mother cried. Father begged him to stay, but he explained that they would search for him there first. After he fled to Midian, we endured many terrible years. No letter arrived, no word from him. Decades of silence, not knowing anything, not a word from him. Our parents died. Aaron's hair turned white. His back began to hunch like our father's. Caleb and Hur began working in the endless pyramids of Ramesses, and we sank into despair. But then one morning in early spring, Aaron left to meet Moses at the edge of the desert. "Where are you going?" I called after him. But he just turned, placed a finger to his lips, and walked away. You already know what happened next. How they went to Pharaoh, the plagues that the Lord brought upon the Egyptians, and the tense and difficult week when Moses commanded us to take a lamb, a young sheep, and keep it in the house. Do you understand what this means? We had to take the sheep, the gods of Egypt. I can still picture the threatening looks of the officers who waited to see if we would dare. And Moses standing tall in the village center on the 14th of Nisan, as he commanded everyone to slaughter the sheep and smear the blood on the doorposts of the houses outside for all to see. We obeyed God's command, and a tense silence of waiting prevailed all night. The executioners sharpened their swords and gave orders and waited on their horses. Sorry, guys. Their torches burning throughout the night. And then, those midnight screams, when all the Egyptian firstborns died at once, the moment everything changed. Instead of slaughtering us, the taskmasters and officers threw us out of Egypt as quickly as possible. Now morning breaks over the sea. I hold my drum tightly. I keep seeing Moses raising his staff, seeing God's mighty hand, and hearing our songs of joy. The waves lap gently at the shore, and I sit here exhausted, overwhelmed with gratitude. We are still alive, and I am writing about our experiences to you. In a few days, I will turn 87. I don't know how much longer I will live. I ask only one thing. Remember, hold on to these moments. Store them in your heart. With love and longing, Miriam, daughter of Yocheved. That's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing those letters as much as I did. And I hope that you guys remember.